Before we get into today's Cowboys Report, headlined by the Rashaan Evans visit coming up for Dallas, if you want a second video later on today, then spam me in the comments section. You get 200, 300 me's in there. I'll make sure that happens for you guys. The Cowboys looking to replace the injured Leighton Vander Esch, at least for the short term, and one name already coming into view. That is linebacker Rashaan Evans, the former Titan, Falcon, and first-round pick. He is in Dallas today for a visit. In theory, if everything goes well, it all checks out, medically, athletically, workout stuff, etc., very real chance he could end up signing with the Dallas Cowboys. Vander Esch is going to miss. The Cowboys have leaked out 4 to 6 weeks. It's a neck injury. He's had a history of those. I'd be a little bit worried it might be longer than that. Evans was briefly on the Eagles practice squad earlier this year. Lasted like 3 or 4 days, something like that, and then said he wanted to find a bigger opportunity. Had not found one yet. Now he might have one in Dallas, the division rival, right? The last 4 years, Evans' raw numbers are pretty solid. Now, I would always caution people, and I've said it thousands of times at this point, raw tackle numbers, just tackle numbers, are not a great way to evaluate a football player. How are those tackles coming? Are they coming downfield in coverage? Are they at or near the line of scrimmage? Or is it, after a 5-yard gain because you're not shedding your blocks very well? Overall, for Evans, and we'll go more in depth on this, I think he's a fine run defender. I don't love him in coverage. I don't think he is a splash high-end impact player. I also think he's the best available free agent option because it is the middle of October, and your options are Rashaan Evans, Anthony Barr, and some dudes no one's really heard of, or if you want to go poach someone maybe off of a practice squad. My big concern with Evans is in coverage. Now, you might be able to overcome that by playing more Marquise Bell at linebacker and putting more safeties out there on the field. So you might be able to kind of hide some issues he had last year. All the advanced numbers, all the stats you're seeing on Rashaan Evans are from Pro Football Reference. You can use PFF. The numbers are different because who gets blamed for coverage is oftentimes a matter of debate to a certain extent. The PFF numbers look even worse, by the way. But you got beat a decent amount in coverage. He was targeted 58 times in coverage last year, allowed 45 catches, allowed 2 scores, 4 pass breakups, no interceptions. A lot of underneath stuff like most linebackers are. I think you do some zone. I don't like him in man. I don't think that's an area you can really play him. I don't love Rashaan Evans in coverage. But you are a beggar. You cannot be a chooser at this stage when it is October, unless you're going to go try to trade for somebody or maybe look at some practice squad options, which maybe there are some viable options there. It's not a great group. So I am of the belief that Evans is probably your best bet if you're only looking at free agent options because the pool is not exactly a good one. So more on this still to come. But do you want to sign Rashaan Evans? Y for yes, you do. N for no, you do not. It's the pinned comment on today's show. Sound off for me, especially if the ad comes here on YouTube. It is, again, worth mentioning, he did not last very long in Philly. Was that the Eagles saying this guy does not have it anymore? Or was the leak right, that Evans wanted to find a bigger opportunity? Could always be agent spin. I'm not super confident in Rashaan Evans, but we've mentioned him a bunch on this show because he is the best available option. Even dating back to when DeMarvion Overshown got hurt, we mentioned Rashaan Evans. The options are simply not great. That's where you're at in October. Evans is the best of a maybe not so great bunch because there are not good players more often than not available in the middle of October. Good news for Evans, again, per Pro Football Reference, he's been a mostly solid tackler. Again, the PFF numbers are fairly different, but we'll continue to use the publicly available ones so everyone can go check out and compare to others. 6 missed tackles 2018, 17 in 2019, has really kind of dialed that in recent years and didn't miss really any. I mean, a 2% missed tackle rate is elite production right there. So in theory, this is a run-stopping option who shouldn't be a massive liability the way maybe Anthony Barr might be in coverage. Damone Clark's still going to be linebacker 1. You'll probably see Malik Jefferson at least get the game day call up again this week. You'll probably see Micah Parsons again play some off-ball linebacker. Maybe your plan there is to, give Micah more snaps overall, which might lead to some wear and tear issues down the road. But I think that's the general plan here for a linebacker. But with Vander Esch likely going to IR, I should say, you need another body in there. Evans is your best free agent available. It is a busy season for me. It is fall. The weather's getting colder, but there's football. Olivia's turning 2 now. She is just a bundle of energy. I and my wife, or I guess me and my wife, do not have the same level of time to cook the way we used to. Prep and clean and make some delicious meals. We don't have the same time. That's why I love Factor, America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. They can help you fuel up fast with chef-prepared, dietitian-approved, ready-to-eat meals delivered straight to your door. You'll save time, eat well, and stay on track with your healthy lifestyle. Don't do what I used to do and just stop at the fast food restaurant on your way home from work. It's not healthy for you. Instead, still save some time, maybe save a little bit of money as well, when you use our promo code, which we'll get to in a little bit, and use Factor. This October, get Factor and enjoy eating well without the hassle. Choose your meals and enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door. They are ready in 2 minutes. No prep and no mess. Head to factormeals.com/CowboysChat50 and use code CowboysChat50 to get 50% off. That's code CowboysChat50 at factormeals.com/CowboysChat50 to get 50% off. Let's talk Mike McCarthy and this defense, by the way, before we get to some trade rumors on today's show. I'm a believer that Big Mike's recent comments about this offense, about this defense, they just basically missed the mark. Mike McCarthy went out there and said, this team is about the defense. It's not a side to the offense. We want to score as many points as everybody. We're not playing to lose, so don't mix the message here. We play to our defense. That is the strength of our team. And by doing that, the time of possession, taking care of the football, that's the strength of our team. It's 2023. I do not believe that is the correct mindset. I think you have to have a more explosive offense. I'm fine with trying to play complementary football when the game presents itself. Against the Jets, against the Patriots, when those games are blowouts, yes, play complementary football. Mike said that they're playing not to lose, or they're not playing not to lose, excuse me. He coached not to lose against the 49ers. You're down by 2 scores against the Niners are a better football team than you. I don't care what Micah Parsons says. I don't care what Mike McCarthy says. They are better than you. They are. You have to find a way to be more aggressive. You cannot punt it on 4th and 2 and kick a field goal down by 2 touchdowns in the 3rd quarter. Okay, when you kick that field goal, you cut into the lead, and your win chances barely changed. Because they are better than you. Frankly, and we'll go more in depth with this here on a future show. I've got some great numbers to back it up. He has neutered this offense with the scheme. The things that Dak Prescott has done best over the course of his NFL career is when he is able to be a surgeon and attack defenses down the middle and over the middle of the field and attack it that way. And just like he did with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, that is out of the playbook. And you can say, they don't trust Dak to not throw interceptions. Maybe that's true. You can't roll it out at this point. But he did the exact same thing in Green Bay. Rodgers didn't attack the middle of the field. That's why his interception numbers were often low, in part. You do get more risky when you attack the middle. And that's fine. You can nickel and dime teams when you're better than them and you can outskill them. When you're playing better teams, you have to be more aggressive. Otherwise, it's going to be the exact same thing. You're going to make the playoffs. You might win a wild card game. You'll play a better team in the Niners, and they'll kick your ass. Can't do it. Have to make changes. So what is your confidence level in Mike McCarthy right now? Scale it for me from 1 to 10. 1 on the low end, 10 on the high end. As part of this conversation, I think we need to have a real talk about this so-called elite defense. Mike McCarthy says this team is built around the defense, and I wonder if that's a call from upstairs. And we make a big deal, all of us, fans, etc., media, about, this Cowboys team can't beat good teams. They can't beat good defenses. And you know what? Not only is that partially true, it's also true for this defense. Let's look at what they have done against good or great offenses. I'm defining this as top 15 or better in EPA per play for their relative. EPA per play is a great offensive stat. Since that Packers game, they allowed 31 points in overtime. That was the number 11 EPA offense for the course of that season. The Jags, they allowed 40 in overtime, number 8 in EPA per play. The Eagles, they allowed 34. They were 3rd. The Niners playoffs, they played well on defense. They were 4th in EPA. They only allowed 19. Arizona's 13th in EPA per play this year. They allowed 28. The Niners are 2nd. They allowed 42. And look, is the offense to blame for at least some of these points? Absolutely. But you shut down the Vikings. They were a below-average offense. That's why they're 18th in EPA per play. The Bucs were 20th come playoff time. The Jets, Giants, and Patriots are all bottom 5 this year. The Chargers you're about to play is 5th. Those results are not indicative of an elite defense. It's actually kind of been the same accusation of the offense. Oh, they beat up on okay, bad teams, and then don't play that well against good teams more often than not. And there's some examples that disprove it, like the Niners in the playoff game last year. But that's not going to work. If this is supposed to be a team that's built around an elite defense, and they front run and fold every time they play a competent offense, what are we doing out there? It has to change this week. Defense has to show up, or it's going to be a very long bye on both sides of the football. And it can't be, oh, we lost one corner and we folded. That's not what good teams and good defenses do. Now, for daily Cowboys news and rumors, hit that sub button for me right now. We'll have a potential second video later today and more to come. YouTube.com/@CowboysTV. Let's talk trade rumors here because Mecole Hardman is available on the market. The Jets are shopping him after they gave him a 1-year, $4 million deal. Hardman's played a grand total of 22 snaps on offense. And much like the Van Jefferson, J.C. Jackson, Randy Gregory trade, I would expect a late day 3 pick swap, maybe even a year from now, is all it would cost to acquire Hardman from the Jets. He's buried on that depth chart. His contract's pretty manageable. And maybe for Dallas, with Kevontae Turpin banged up, maybe it's not the most outlandish idea, although, they don't often make trades. At least they don't often add that much talent, all things considered. But what would you guys do? We'll spend some more time on this here. Would you trade for Mecole Hardman? T for trade, P for pass. Go vote in the comments section. There's been a point I've advocated for Hardman before because he brings you speed. And by the way, without Kevontae Turpin, he's going to miss probably 4 to 6 weeks or more. You have one player who's fast, and your coordinator has to find a way to get him the damn football. That's Brandon Cooks, by the way. As a gadget player, to plug in, frankly, directly into the Kevontae Turpin role, I actually think it could make some sense. Now, you would put Turpin on IR, have Hardman. You'd run into an issue, by the way, when Turpin gets back. What do you do with Hardman? So maybe the long-term angle doesn't make as much sense. But short-term, wouldn't he be at least your number 5 receiver? / key role player overall? I think that's one at least worth considering. And, oh, by the way, again, I don't think this is going to happen, but you're losing a great return man. Hey, Mecole Hardman is a former Pro Bowl return guy. 2019, his first year. 39 kick returns, almost 1,000 yards there, 2 total scores. I think you at least have that conversation. I don't think it would happen. Maybe a team that needs receivers more would offer a little bit more than you would, but especially with Turpin banged up. Smart teams ask and have discussions on every player who's available. Are the Cowboys a smart team?